So I'm going to go ahead and get started. So welcome to our webinar for today, Mastering a Bio. We put together a new schedule in the midst of COVID and a lot of you responsibly staying at home, working on your business. And I wanted to start with kind of a fundamental part of our business, defining who we are and writing our biography. And this is a short webinar. It won't be, it'll be longer than maybe you think it should be, but it's not going to be painfully long, I hope. But this is a topic that it seems every agent struggles with. Every new agent who joins our firm, we need a bio. We ask for that bio because we need to get it posted, start the advertising. We look at your websites and we see, good home for sale information, but we don't see a lot about you. And right now we know that about 68% of your clients are going to Google you or look for you online before they actually engage you to do business. And those folks, even if they know you, are looking to see who you are as a real estate agent. So they may know you through church or through hanging out with you or some social group or civic group, but they don't really know who you are as an agent. And so the bio becomes a good opportunity to engage them. So we're going to talk a little bit about bios, information that works, some strategies to get a good bio together, and then I'll show you an example one that I think is exceptionally well done. So we have to remember that your followers, those people who follow you on social media, those people who know you again from church or civic groups or family members even who maybe not know the professional you, are your tribe. They're your following, and they want to know more about you. Now, one of the strategies that we talk about for marketing is social media, especially. It's a big focus for us. It's where you bring your tribe together, both your in real life tribe and then your online sphere of influence. And when you bring those two people together, they don't really want to have a lot of self-aggrandizing marketing, right? If you're doing my new listing and what every buyer should know about COVID-19, those are ads to most people. But if you're posting good content and engaging content, then at some point they're going to say, what does this person do? Who are they as a professional? And they're going to click a link. And that link what should be to your webpage. We in other classes, and we've done updated versions of these that are being put on the calendar now about your content marketing and online marketing and how to get them to your hub, being in most cases your website. And so they want to know who you are. And going out and reintroducing yourself every 5 days on social media, going, I'm a real estate agent, I'm here to help you, starts to glaze over for your followers and your consumers. It's when they take initiative to go find out who you are that you've really made some meaningful impact and engagement. And so I'm a big fan on your social media profiles of having a quick bio about who you are and then a link to your website that gives the full business bio. And so we want to talk also about who your audience is. And a lot of times when we sit down with agents and who are struggling to write a bio or establish who they are as a real estate agent, we often find that they're trying too hard to reach a grand scale of people. And so they're like, well, I don't want to seem like I'm overly busy and have this group think I'm too busy for them. And I don't want to seem like I'm really into church and then alienate people who aren't church people, or I don't want to seem like I spend all my time doing stuff at the SPCA and playing with puppies, but like, why would you not? Who doesn't want to play with puppies all day? And I don't want to seem like I'm just too big of a scale. And so we want you to stop. And we talk about a lot in our marketing that consumer persona, that profile. Who are you trying to reach? If you are trying to engage second home people, baby boomers who are now retiring out, who have a little bit of money, who are looking for a retirement center, you're going to write a certain way. If you're looking to connect with your core group of buyers and sellers who are about 34 to 36 years old, who have 2.5 children, who are somewhere between junior high and high school, or maybe younger, your tone and what you write and how you describe and engage yourself is going to be different. So we want you to start off about who your audience actually is, because trying to write something that's global for everyone isn't always going to work. And you want to make sure that that group isn't overly large, isn't so broad as for you to be washed up in everyone else. And let me say this: incredibly thankful for you and your family's service if you have served in the military. But there's a fairly large group of military, former military individuals and their spouses who are real estate agents. And so when you say, well, you know what, I want to really connect with that military community because that's what I've always known, you need to understand there's a tremendous amount of competition in that space. And if I read the first line that says, you know, my family and I have traveled the world as serving in the military, so is a lot of other people. So what's next? What makes you more unique to those folks than just military service? Or my family and I have lived in Fredericksburg all of our lives. That's great. So have a pretty good portion of real estate agents in the community. What else? What comes next? And so we don't want to hinge our entire communication or entire profile or persona on one or two core elements. There needs to be a little bit more to us that connects with them. And it needs to be about them. And knowing how to communicate about them means defining who they are. CVX is a really, really good tool for the Coldwell Banker agents to utilize to get an idea of the kind of persona or the type of people who are moving into the area. When you start looking and seeing that they have on the younger side of children, that they are family people, typically married with 2.5 children, that they're making an average of 78,000 a year, working 2 jobs, it starts to help you identify how to write to that person, what that person's going to care about when they are reading about you. And then we have to find time to focus on the writing. Now, I'm gonna tell you, I fall for this just as much as everybody else does. There are some things I just don't want to do, and some things I begrudgingly sit down and have to do. And it shows in the writing very often. I'm trying to hurry and get it done because there's 1,000 other things that I would rather do, and I don't mind writing. As a matter of fact, I would sit and blog all day long if I could make money doing that. But I don't necessarily like assignment writing. Like, you have to get this done. You have to get your bio done. And so sometimes I have to set the right mood. And just last night, I was writing a textbook. I'm writing new curriculum for NAR certification. And it is the worst part. Like, yeah, I love the graphic design. I love putting together the slides and putting all that together. And then I got to sit down and write this 200-page technical document for real estate agents, and it's mind numbing. And so, bottle of whiskey in hand or whatever, having a drink, whatever it is, your favorite warm drink or really warm drink, um, a glass of wine. Last night I had Chopin on, listening to some nice classical music. I used to, when I was younger, be able to sit down with the TV going and a television show and keep track of it, and also write these, blog posts or articles or whatever. Can't do that anymore. I'm finding that more and more, if I want my quality writing to be done, not just writing, I need to set an environment. So low lights, quiet house. Had a drink last night, had some Chopin playing, and I was able to really focus on just the writing, not getting it done just to get it out of the way. Now, I know a lot of you have probably already written bios and you have posted them and went, whew, I'm done, check off. I'm going to challenge you to go read those again at the end of this session to see, are you truly satisfied with how that sounds? And if not, you've got some time now. We're going to have a couple more weeks of this. You're going to have some time at home, sit down, get a glass of wine, put on whatever music makes you motivated to write, and focus on writing about you and what the consumer would care about you. But you got to carve out time to do that when it's not just getting it done to get it on a web page. That may be what you had to do initially. On the flip side of that, I will say our marketing team can't do a whole lot of things until you've got a good contemporary headshot and a good bio. And so we want you to be able to get your marketing started. So don't wait forever to get the right bio, but get us something. But then sit down and really say, is this the best I can do? Is this the best me that I want to present to the consumer? So find that time. And then remember that your reader needs to enjoy a little bit about reading about you. If you write like a technical document, like you're giving your resume in 4 paragraphs or 3 paragraphs, it is going to be far less interesting to your reader. They need to get past the first couple lines. Now, the first lines are always the grabbing line. Why am I reading it? We're talking about that storytelling element of your bio in just a minute. But there should be some enjoyment. It should be quirky. It should be fun. I know a lot of you you come from the corporate world and you're like rewriting your resume, or like it. I feel like some of your bios, when I get them, it's as if your employer said, it's time for an employee review. write about what I should write about you, and then give it back to me as your review. That's not what we're doing here. We're trying to actually set ourselves apart from the other agents they're going to talk to. Now, you guys have heard me use this number, those rule of six. What we're finding out is there are so many licensees and so many consumers that most consumers know now on average six real estate agents. So think about this. Think about that person who is a friend of yours from high school or college or church or whatever civic group you're in, and they're on your Facebook page. In addition to you, there are probably five other real estate agents connected to that consumer. And they are trying to, at one day, say, I think I want to buy or I want to sell. They usually make these decisions about 18 to 24 months before they decide to buy or sell. And they are looking about and going, oh, yeah, you know what? Johnny's an agent. Oh, I wonder what kind of agent he is. What kind of real estate does he do? And does he serve my area? And that's when they go and click a link and look you up. Or someone's referred them to you. Someone said, hey, Dan's a really good agent. I heard you were selling your home. You should give him a call. We worked with him about 10 years ago or 5 years ago. And so they're going to go look you up. And they're going to go to your webpage and then read up about you to see who you are as a real estate agent. They should enjoy that bio. It should be different than the other five people in their sphere of influence who just wrote, I've been a real estate agent. I'm a top producing agent. Nobody gives a crap. I've been doing this for 300 years. No one gives a crap. What they want to know, what makes you different about here and now and for their family. They don't, they want to know those testimonials. They want to see people like them have worked with you and enjoyed working with you. But if you're talking about being top producing agent, they have no framework for that is. You're talking about all the awards you've won. So is everybody else talking about that? They want to know who you are and who you are as a person, and are you going to be a good fit and connection for them in their real estate transaction? And one of the best bios I've ever read is from our own Amber Dawson at the downtown office. So I'm going to read this for just a second because I think it puts in context what the rest of the class, what we're talking about achieving here. So I, honestly, I didn't know Amber when we first came to the downtown office, and I was going through all the agent bios on their site, and then kind of revisited it a little bit after we took over to see who was of what and where. And this is the one that stuck out to me. Matter of fact, she knows this. I've used this in a lot of classes because it is just one of the best connectors that I've seen. So here it goes. I must have been born a gypsy. Life has rocketed me from one serendipitous experience to another. That line right there makes you rethink, oh my gosh, this is a real estate agent. They're not talking about their production. They're not talking about how many years in the business. They're not talking about other things. They have set the tone. She has set the tone for story. Chance, change, and opportunity have finally planted me here in Fredericksburg, Virginia. Unexpectedly, it feels like home. And again, now you want to know why is it unexpected? What did she do before finding her place here? And what does it mean to be a gypsy who is now a real estate agent? The opening paragraph is pretty engaging. Born in Florida, raised in Louisiana, Texas, Oklahoma, California, and finally Missouri. She was raised in a lot of places. I bought my first home at the age of 17 in the middle of nowhere, Missouri. It was a real gem. No heat in the freezing Midwestern winter, no hot water pipes in the kitchen, half a bathroom, oversized fireplace, stuffed with wool fleece, kitchen cabinets lined up with a living room floor, cellar fully stocked with gigantic banana slugs. And let's not forget about the ancient appliances that sometimes smoked. All this and priced right too. From this beautiful disaster, a true love of houses and home was born. Right there, if you're looking to sell your home, you read that paragraph. And although it's about her, it is more, I am able to easily see her telling my story about my home. And if she can make a home that sounds like it was a little rough when you walked the door, sound so very charming and interesting, what could she do for you? Again, these bios are more than just, here are the four things I've done in my career. These bios are a way to show off your writing skill and your ability to engage, to storytell. And then you go on to her bio and it tells you that fast forward a few years and life found me in California as an Air Force linguist, married to a Marine and moving again towards something new and wondrous. Remember what I said earlier. If you're hanging your entirety of your bio on your military experience and your experience moving, you have been washed away with everybody else. But if you actually involve it as part of a story to explain why this is important to them, to the reader, you get them. They start to connect with you. They start to go, oh yeah, She served the military. I served the military. She must understand what it's like to move around. My husband and I had our first daughter, moved to Maryland and then North Carolina. In between moves, I left the military for stability and worked as a florist, veterinary nurse, and then opened my own business, a yarn shop, when we moved to Swansbury, North Carolina. We were thrown into a new adventure when our son was born and my husband deployed for the fourth time. I sold the business to stay home with our growing family and prepared for our move to Virginia. And at this point, if you don't know Amber, you think she's about 80 years old because she's had about 40 different careers and 3 lives in here. And she's not. For those who met her, you know she isn't those things. But you get to connect with something there. If you like, if you have a home life and you have raised children, you can connect. If you like animals, she was a veterinary nurse. I mean, you start to connect with different aspects of her life throughout this. All this moving, buying homes and resettling has left me a distinct desire to help other families find a place they call home. And then you can read her bio on our website if you want to go to the rest. But she starts talking about how much she enjoys Fredericksburg, all the community activities, and she very quickly, in 3 or 4 paragraphs, ties you from here I am, who I am, to why I love this area and why I am capable of selling this to you. And then she closes it out with, I look forward to getting to know you and your family and helping you put down roots in your own sanctuary. And there's that call to action. I'm going to help you, and I'm going to help you find your own sanctuary. Now, right now, more than ever, more and more people are finding their home is their sanctuary. And if you're writing content for your advertising or for your marketing or for your bio, think about what's going on right now. People are finding an ability to coalesce at home if they have been sick. They are finding a way to hide from the sickness at home. They are finding ways to re-engage their families. They are finding ways to re-engage themselves into their desire to cook or to do some craft or to learn a new skill. And all of this is happening in the context of home. We are going to emerge from this current issue, and there's going to be, I truly believe, a new connection with your home because it's been your shelter for so long. And so she was already a little ahead of that curve there with the sanctuary part. But that is a great way to connect somebody to what you do, that you're helping them find a sanctuary, not buy a home, not a real estate transaction, a lead, but making them a human with a human desire for shelter and safety. And she tells the story from her point of view. Another failing that we see in a lot of bios is that a lot of agents write them from the third person, as if some person has created a Wikipedia page for you out there, and they are writing your story because they've been following you around all your life just because your life is so interesting as an agent. They decided to write it all down. And no one is confused about this. Every client you meet, everyone who's ever read your bio or your story or your marketing knows you wrote it. None of them think that you're so wildly, incredibly popular that there's a Wikipedia author out there drafting information about you on the Wikipedia page. Don't write in the third person. Only crazy people and athletes, sometimes crazy, talk about themselves in the third person. Be personable. Have a conversation with them. Act as if someone said, just tell me your story. And sit there and listen to it. Write that story. Write a story well and use the space that you need. In this case, Amber used about 5 paragraphs. That's great. We're going to talk later about long and short and social media bios. But it tells a story. You get to connect with her that way. So storytelling is a way, or storytelling is about connecting to other people and helping people see what you see. Now, you see yourself as a real estate agent, but you know there's more to you than that. You see yourself helping people. You see yourself working with families and generations. You see yourself as a way to protect their interests. You can do all that by ingraining it in your story and interweaving it in your story. Every story, especially as we've gone through rebranding, you guys have heard me talk about this. Every story has basically 3 primary points of interest. And Freighthead calls it a dramatic storytelling. It has the exposition. Why are you here? Well, I'm here to learn about you as a real estate agent. You're here because you were interested in what I do for a living, or you're considering choosing me to be your agent. Then with the climax, this is why it's important to you. So again, the exposition is why am I here? The climax is the most important part, that I have served clients for many years, and those clients love me and adore me and worship everything I say. Not that they do, but you get the point. And then the denouement is the end, what's the next, or in our case, in our bio thing, the denouement is going to be the call to action, the what do you need to know about me. And in those stories, the storyteller is the mentor, not the hero. So when you're telling the story, you're describing why you're a good guide. Not that you're the superhero, not that you're the one, my clients have always felt that I was the one who rescued them from bad transactions. That stuff drives people crazy. That's not what they're looking for. They want to hear a little bit about you and why you are qualified to guide they and their family, or themselves and their families, through this chapter of their story. And when we start taking the position of being a guide, it happens to align right with our North Star theme. So the rebranding event for Coldwell Banker was the North Star. And people were like, why is there a star there? And then we got the opportunity, when they asked why the star was there, to tell them that the North Star has been guiding people home as long as we have a recorded history. And that the North Star is part of our mantra, that we're here to guide you. It's part of our ethos. We're to guide you. We're not going to make decisions for you. We're going to help you through the process. And they're going to have some questions. Here's the 4 questions that should be answered in your bio. Who are you? Who are you as a person? What has your experiences been that are relative to why I'd be interested in talking to you? Why would I be interested in you? Why should I choose you as a real estate agent? How are you unique? What makes you different? And if you're reading that bio and you're just like, if I put my thumb over top of your name, what in that bio made you unique? Are you just like every other agent out there? Are you just like every other real estate provider who's just out there to buy and sell homes? Are you just talking about the number of years you did it? Or is there something special about you? Is there something in your history? Is there something that you have done in your life or even in your career that sets you apart from other people? And lastly, is there a connection? What have you done? How would you connect to my family? How would you fit in if we were to introduce you to the rest of our household to be the person who is going to provide care for us? How do I know you're going to take care of us? And then we remember that Google is reading this as well. And so when we're writing, so when you read Amber's bio or most people's bio, you're going to see there's some keywords. We want to use Fredericksburg in there if we serve that, or Gainesville, or Fairfax. Whatever area we serve needs to be in there at least once. Our name should be there, usually at the header, like about Matthew Rathbun, and it needs to be in there at least once. You don't want to do what's called keyword stuffing. Keyword stuffing is when you have used or overused particular words with the hopes that Google will pay attention. As a matter of fact, you should not use any word other than filler words like as, is, there, but, us, we, are. You should use keywords like Fredericksburg, Gainesville, agent, real estate, no more than 2% of the total text in what you're writing. So no more than 2% should be the same word or phrase. So if I were writing for the Gainesville agents, I would say, our office is located in Gainesville, Virginia, and I have served Northern Virginia for a number of years. So I'm changing up those two, using 2 different words for the same geographic location, because Google is going to index where your bio is and what it says. And you're going to need 3 of those. You're going to start with the long one. Sit down with a Word document. Write out your full bio about all the things you think are important. And a lot of people find it useful to like bullet point some of the things that they want to make sure is encompassed in their bio, and then sit down and render that story, because that's exactly what you're doing. In 3 or 4 paragraphs, you're going to tell your story about who you are and why you're a good agent. And so you're going to have the full bio. That's the completely written one. Once you finish the full bio and you're somewhat happy, look, you'll never be 100% happy with it. There's never been a class that I've taught. There's never been a transaction that I've done. There's never been a video I've completed where I went, it doesn't get any better than that. That's awesome. Never, ever has that crossed my mind. Every one I went, good enough. Because I know there's always going to be room for improvement. I'm going to tweak. Every year I tweak my bio. Every time I watch a video, I go, I need to re-record that, maybe do this differently or say that differently. Every time I do a class, even before this one, I was adding and changing a slide. I've done this class 50 times. There's always going to be something you're going to tweak. But when you get to the point when you're go by and go, this is good. I like this. I like the energy of it. I like the phraseology of it. Save it. Then you're going to need to take from that and reduce that whole thing to one paragraph, and then take that one paragraph and reduce it to 3 or 4 short sentences. Because you're going to need at any given time, your full bio goes on your website, it goes on our company website, it goes on your franchise profile. And then every once in a while, there's going to be like a new marketing tool comes up. And what I find with a lot of agents is that when you get to that new marketing tool, we're like, hey, Cloud CMA is awesome. Go sign up for Cloud CMA. Like, yay. And you go, oh crap, what's my URL for my Facebook page? And oh my God, I got to put a bio. And I hate my profile picture. I'll do this later. Over and over and over again, we see you as agents do that, where you put things off because I don't like my photo, I don't like my bio, I don't know where the URLs are for my social media accounts. Have all that stuff in one place. So when you do the full bio and you save it on Word, go copy and paste your Facebook, your Instagram, if you have Twitter, your Twitter link, whatever social media site you have. So you have one PDF now, and I would suggest you save that on the cloud somewhere, either in OneDrive or Dropbox or somewhere, so you can have it anywhere and anytime you need it and it's backed up. But you're gonna have that full bio page so that when you get to that Cloud CMA or Update or whatever tool it is, you can just copy and paste your bio in there, which is why I say write your full bio and then a 1 paragraph version and then a 3 sentence version. Because that full, because some of those pages are not going to allow room for your full bio. They want a short 1 paragraph bio, and then you get to like social media and it only lets a couple words. So here's an example. So here's my Twitter profile. Hi, I'm Matthew, always up for an adventure, lover of life, gadgets, and Mac, sharer of thoughts, listener of stories. What's yours? And then if they like that, if that seems like somebody they can connect with, because this is the incredibly abbreviated social media profile, then they'll click the link underneath to my website to go find out more about who I am. So they see a couple tweets or a couple Facebook posts and go, hey, those aren't so bad. What does this guy do? Then they go click the link and it takes them to the full bio I wrote. So these abbreviated bios, social media bios, again, make them copy and pastable. So something that just has 2 sentences or so on there. And then you have your short bio, which is the 1 paragraph version of your bio. So that for, again, those websites that just are looking for something short and have limited space, you've got that. And then you got your full on bio. And in my bio, I'm not going to read it in any detail, but in my full bio, I really go all in on that I'm part of their story, that I'm a supporting character in this chapter of their story. And I use that very specific language in there because what I find is that when I meet with clients, they parrot back the stuff that's in the bio. I also have a video that's very similar to it. And I can't remember a time where I went to an interview, even with somebody who knew me beforehand, even past clients, where they didn't actually repeat something that was in that bio, which is what tells me that they read it. In other classes, and we're going to be doing this class again in a couple weeks, we talk about the pre-listing or pre-buyer meeting packet, what we send ahead by email beforehand. And one of them, my big emphasis on this is to push them to my bio, either my video and or written bio, so that they can find out more about me before I enter the house. So there's already some connection there. There's some understanding how I'm going to serve their family. And in those bios, I do mention that in more than one case, I have worked with 3 generations of clients, where I've worked with grandma and grandpa, and mom and dad, and then the kids. And I think that, to me, that's again what I'm going all in on. I'm going all in on a supporting character for their family in that family's life story. And you should trust me because there's been families where 3 generations have trusted me, and no one is going to refer somebody to their kids and their grandkids unless they fully believe that person is going to work for them and do a good job. That one point is the entire underlying thought behind my bio. My bio leads to that climax that multiple generations and friends and family are referring me to one another. And that's why you should work with me, because people only do that when they trust someone. So again, you're going to write the long version first, then take 1 paragraph, edit it down to 1 paragraph, and then edit it down to 2 sentences. And this is a really good book, especially if you got some time, you're looking for, if you're interested at all writing, or if you really struggle with it and you're trying not to struggle with it. Ann Handley has a book called Everybody Writes. It's one of my favorite business books. that isn't really like how to run your business, just focus on that one topic. And she's reduced this to 10 steps. One, set your goal. In this case, to connect with clients. That's my goal. I want to connect with clients. That's my goal in my bio. And then reframe it. I want to meaningfully connect with my buyers and sellers. And then seek out data. Look at, what do I need to know? Well, I need to know that I have been doing this for a number of years. What does that mean? I need to know that my client is on average an age of 37. I need to know that the American, an individual who's educated American has an average reading level of 8th grade. That's important too. And now let me go back to, since I gave so much praise to it, let me go back to one criticism. I really enjoy reading Amber's bio because I saw multi-syllable words in there, right? It was a very intelligently structured intro into that statement. But if your reader is stopping to sound out serendipitously and worked on phonics as being kicked an overdrive, you may have disconnected with them. Now, that's okay. You're gonna disconnect with some people. Your bio may not resonate with somebody who thinks you're writing about family and kids and being, your prior life as a stay-at-home dad, and now you're getting into the real estate world. You're going to lose some people who are super young and they really want a super young and trendy agent, but you're a dad. Or the people who are now in their second life and they're remarried at 70 years old and they're looking for their forever home, and they go, this person only deals with a young family. You're always going to alienate somebody. It's okay. But that seeking out data part goes back to establishing who your consumers are, who that you're trying to reach, and how they read and what they read. And so we're going to seek out that data. Then we're going to organize it. And I know some of you are going, man, I just came here to write a bio. Can you just tell me to write a bio? This is how you do it, meaningfully and intentionally. Because this is marketing, this is communication, and you've heard me say this in every class. Part of your hat that you wear every morning when you wake up is you're your chief marketing officer for your brand. And when you look in that mirror and you're looking at the chief marketing officer, you should be impressed with the work that they do. You should expect them to be intentional and detailed about how they're performing to represent your brand and you. And until you've hired somebody to do that marketing for you, it's on you, it's on your shoulders. So you're going to be very precise in this. You're going to organize the data that you've been seeking out. Who am I? What is the message I want to reach? What are the type of consumers I'm looking for? How do they read and how do they behave when they read? And then we're going to write to just the one person. Don't try to write to the entirety of everybody who's ever going to read your bio. Think about the last client you actually liked working with, that person that you were excited to finish the deal with. Okay, that may be the wrong way of putting it. Not excited to finish the deal with, but you're excited to have worked with, and it was truly a joy to work with them. Write your bio to that one person. If that person had started off with a relationship saying, hey man, tell me more about you, what would you have said? How would you have structured that story given the time and ability to write it down for them? Write to the one person. And then don't worry about editing it or what words are where or what you're going to do. Get to the end, go, man, I feel good about this. And then start at the first paragraph and start rereading it and making your little tweaks and edits there. And then walk away from it, right? So you can check your grammar, you can check your sentence structure if you want to, put it aside, save it, go do some other things, come back to it later that night or the next morning, reread it again and go, man, I think I want to tweak this. I think I wanted to say this differently. I wanted to add that. And then make sure you have your final draft. At the top, and in Anne's world, she's talking about writers who are writing articles or books or text. For us, this is gonna be a bio. That great headline, think about that when you've picked up a newspaper, when you've walked by and seen a newspaper headline and go, I want to know more about that article. That's your header. And so for us, it could be serving generations or why generations trusted me. And that could be the header for your bio, and then they read the rest. Or, working with families for 30 years. Again, I'm not a big fan of using the time. And I've been doing this long enough that it's not that I'm new and I'm jealous of people who've been doing this for a long time. I've been doing this for a long time. I just strongly feel, and we've gotten plenty of feedback from consumers who are like, yeah, I don't really care how long you've been doing this. It doesn't really matter to me. It's what you're doing for my family right now, what you're capable of. So whatever your headline is, that top line that leads into your bio should be catching. It should tell me why I got to be interested and why I need to read to the end of this article, this bio. Then send it to someone else to look at. Now, some of you have great relationships with your spouses or significant other, and you can send over stuff to them, and they're going to be super encouraging, and they're going to look some stuff over. Other one of you have spouses who are maybe a little hypercritical, or they're like, yeah, you're not quite as cool as you think you are. You know, some of your spouses may not be the best people because either they're so celebratory of who you are and so supportive that they're hesitant or reticent to actually correct you and bring you down a notch or fix your grammar or your structure. Others may have hypercritical spouses or significant others who know you too well, and they're going to be very detailed. Send it off to somebody else. Send it to your broker or a teammate, send it to me, send it to somebody else that you trust to look over and go, what do you think? And what edits should I make to make this better? You have to, whoever you look over something, you have to invite them to give you feedback and criticism. A lot of people will read over and go, that's great, and be done with it. You need to tell them the intention of this is for you to let me know how I did. All right, have someone else look at it, give it one final look, and then post it. Send it to our marketing team to post on our websites. Go put it on your Zap site, your personal website, whatever profile you want to. Take that short one and put it on your Facebook page, your Facebook profile, the social media one, put everywhere else. Go crazy with publishing it where it is. All right. And a great tool for this, because you know I'm not going to let you out of here with at least one website or one mobile app, is HemingwayApp.com. So HemingwayApp.com is super good. Grammarly is also very good. I think Hemingway app is a little bit more structured on my type of writing, the writing I prefer. It's an ugly web page, but it's highly functional. Grammarly is good at punctuation and things. It's not really stylistic as much. So I'm a big fan of Hemingway app and Grammarly, but Hemingway app is my go-to for most writing. Hemingway app, if you copy and paste your text in, it actually highlights and says, here's a better way to have written this. Here is a better word usage here. Here is some grammar critique here. And then it'll let you publish it to a Word document or copy and paste it back to whatever you're using it as. So, and if you're on PC or Mac, there's a desktop version you can download and use. I don't know, big fan of this. Not Hemingway app, Grammarly, which is what everybody is probably familiar with. Either one, copy and paste your favorite version of your bio in there. I would not recommend drafting it in either Hemingway or Grammarly because it'll be very distracting to you when it's trying to tell you to change phraseology and text and syntax and all the rest. Write it first when you're happy with it, then put it in there, and it'll fix your grammar and give you some suggestions for better writing. And then lastly, almost lastly, you are going to take that bio after all I said over the past 38 minutes. You're going to take that bio that you've written, that you're going to publish everywhere and post everywhere, and then go do that. Go publish it, go post it everywhere. But about every 6 months to a year, you want to go around and tweak it a little bit. So the bio that you've written for your web page and post it on the company website and on the corporate website and on the other 3 sites that you use regularly for your marketing, as of right now and today, it's okay that they're all exactly the same. But if you want to get the maximum exposure out of this, they should all be different, at least in the first 150 characters or so that Google sees different versions of you. And when somebody Googles you, it is more apt to find your bio and promote multiple websites instead of just the one that has the most search engine juice, because that's the one that sees duplicative copies on 6 different websites. That's a more advanced thing. That's really for your SEO stuff if you're doing more advanced marketing. But it doesn't hurt you to have a different voice in other places. So for example, if I'm writing a bio for my website and I am primarily a listing agent, then I want to have a good bio that captures the attention of sellers and shows off my marketing skills, my communication skills. If I'm posting that same bio to Zillow, which is almost 100% buyer leads, I have very little impact to a Zillow reader of my bio who is looking to buy when my bio is primarily for sellers. And so my Zillow bio is going to be altered a bit to talk about the power I bring to buyers and negotiation skills and unique tools and resources and whatever else you want to put out there. So again, the tone of your bio may need to change. You get your core bio and then you tweak it based on the platform that you're serving at the time. That's a stage 2 thing after you've done a regular bio, but something to keep in mind when you start looking at your long-term marketing campaign and plan. And then lastly, don't forget, just like you knew I couldn't let you go without giving you at least one website or app, I can't let you go without some type of risk management issue. Please remember that your name as your license in the real estate commission, the fact that you're a realtor in any state and city in which you hold a license, state that you hold a license in the city of your primary license need to be somewhere in that bio. Now, if you're on your personal webpage, it's typically in the footer, don't worry about it. But if you're putting it out there that's somewhere that isn't a controlled environment, do end it with Matthew Rathman is a realtor and licensed real estate agent or broker in the Commonwealth of Virginia, District of Columbia, state of Maryland, and I'm with Coldwell Banker Elite. Actually, this is supposed to say your company too. There's actually another thing. Your company had to be in there. With Coldwell Banker Elite, located in Fredericksburg, Virginia, and so that can be a footnote at the bottom of your bio. Just make sure you have that disclosure. It has to be one sentence. There's no specific structure. Those four, actually 5 things, need to be mentioned. That's it. That's your risk management stuff. So that's it. That's your 40-minute overview of successful bio writing. I am big. I know a lot of you in any marketing class you've taken with me. I'm a big proponent of this. You have to have a good bio written out. It is important. We know consumers connect with it. We know it makes you unique, and it makes generally that's your first digital handshake is what you have said about yourself on your website, and it's important. So that's going to give me a couple of seconds left over to answer any questions you have. So if you do have a question, you can go to the question box or you can go to the chat section and let me know, and I'll be happy to answer them. And if there are no questions, then we're done. All right, thank you so much for attending. I hope this was helpful for you. Again, go out, spend the time that you have at home now, draft a new updated bio for you, send it over to your managers to look at or somebody else that you trust or who could help you out, and have them take a look at it. Thank you so much for your time this morning.